All right, bro. So you won't believe what happened to me today. I want to start with this because we're going to talk about a lot of things today. But I woke up today. Now, this is my normal routine. I'll get up. I'll grab my phone. I'll check the scripture of the day. I'll pray as I get up. And then I'll share that scripture of the day on social media. And then I'll check my notifications. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then once I get some kind of inspiration for whatever TikTok video I'm going to put up that morning, I'll go in, record the video as I get up. And as soon as I walked out of my bedroom, I'm stepping in a puddle of water.
Oh, no, dude. Is this your apartment?
My apartment.
Yeah.
You're familiar with how my, layout of my apartment is.
Yeah.
I step out, and I'm like, why are my feet cold and wet right now? And it's not a huge puddle. It's just enough to notice
right
when you're
outside
inside.
Your bedroom
right
door
outside my bedroom door.
Okay, wait. Before you go on. I'm trying to imagine, with the information that you've given me, what would cause a puddle of water outside? Yeah. Because your sink is on the other side. The kitchen's over there. It obviously isn't the bathroom, which is way over on the other side.
Yes.
Dude, something had to spill in the night. I don't know what you don't have.
Okay, I've got video of all this, and I can't put it up. But what I'm going to tell you, is. I had to walk through that puddle a couple times to really realize, oh my gosh, there's water on the floor. And then I had to do that whole thing where I kind of leaned down at an angle to see the glare, to see the water on a dark floor. Yeah. And I'm like, there's a lot of water on the floor. And what I didn't realize is there was more water on the end of my counter.
Back door. Oh, no, it wouldn't be back door.
No, it was on the end of my counter. And I'm like, wait, my hat that was sitting on my counter, the chair that was right up against the counter with the hoodie that was draped over, the hoodie was drenched. There was water. Like I had envelopes from the mail on the counter that were completely drenched. My wallet was drenched.
Okay.
Everything was drenched on the countertop. But when you get to the sink, it was dry from there on over. And then there was a little bit of puddle of water in the kitchen. There was some right next to the washer. So I'm thinking maybe it came from the washer.
So where did this mystery water come from?
Well,
something was dripping.
Well, because it extended all the way in front of the TV, which is the opposite direction of the washer. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking, what the crap is going on? And I looked up, the TV's fine. I look up to the ceiling, and there's no water spots. You know, what? Like, say the person above me flooded something, and it came down. There was no water spots.
Holy water. That's what it was?
No, it wasn't holy water.
It simply appeared.
No. But as I did more research, you know those three lights that are above my kitchen sink and counter?
Yeah.
Well, when you turn them on, you can actually see through the glass. And the one that was furthest to the one that was furthest to the end of the counter where all the water was, there was dripping residue water on the glass. And then I look up at the base of the light, and there's a water stain at the base
fixture.
of the light. Yeah. And it came from upstairs.
Came from upstairs.
Yeah. I was like, hey, what the crap? Because I was looking at the sprinklers, nothing was activated. Like, it was just a leak from upstairs.
Describe your sense of relief when you discovered where the water was coming from, as opposed to.
Honestly, I'll tell you what I was worried about the whole time.
Were you proud of yourself?
No, I'm a pretty good detective when it comes to all that. Because there was one time when my ex-wife still lived with me in that apartment. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm proud of myself on this one. She ordered a bed for one of our Airbnbs that we were going to open up. It was actually for your Airbnb.
Okay.
And the bed got delivered to another apartment in the same building. And that guy who received it, because I actually did some detective work, because I had to, you know how they take a picture of whenever they deliver it?
Yeah.
I went to pretty much, I think you were with me one time, 3 or 4 different buildings. Not floors.
Oh, I remember this.
3 or 4 different buildings.
Yeah. This was slightly more intermediate detective work than figuring out where the water was coming from.
Well, because you
had to run all over that complex, which is big.
Not only that, but I had to look in a blurred background, and I found the front doormat and where the camera or safety lights were located in the background. And I looked at it from the angle. I was like, oh, that's it. And this is a door. So I had to hit his doorbell camera to get a hold of him. And he had actually ordered a bed for his new apartment, and ours was delivered with his, and he didn't even look at the name. He told me he didn't look at the name because he's like, well, I ordered a bed. I thought it was just a part of it. And I was like, and so I had to go pick that up. Anyway, that was my detective work. So I'm not as proud of the water as I am of that one, because that one took a lot of detective work. But I was more
You're still
worried.
having delusions of grandeur, aren't you?
No, I'm a good
about
detective,
that
man.
I'm
deep
did back then.
I pay attention to details. So when it comes to the water, the one thing that I was worried about is those patches that I just got that they ordered for me. I was afraid because it was on the counter. It didn't get as wet as everything else, but I was afraid that was going to like ruin it. So I contacted my rep, and she's like, "No, because Michael Phelps wears them, so no, water doesn't ruin them."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay,
that's cool." And by patches, you mean the product that you're trying out, the LifeWave product that you're trying out. Okay.
So that was my morning. Other than still seething over this whole restrictions thing that TikTok has our account under for Nick's Right Podcast.
Yeah.
Because a few days ago, I did a check on our account, and it was in good standing. And then I came across a video from Conservative Peach. She's an ex-actress and now does conservative content on TikTok, and she does these skits. And she just had a screenshot of her account check, and it said account restricted, and she didn't have any violations. Their new terms and conditions came out, and ever since then, every predominant conservative creator has been restricted, which means their videos don't get as much visibility.
Well, that's because they hate all things free.
Yeah, well,
all things freedom. And I mean,
there's a lot of conspiracies that come behind that because they're thinking, like, I've had people come into my comment section whenever I put up my video of my screenshot of the account being restricted, and they're like, no, it's not just conservatives. Like, I only post about sourdough bread, and I'm restricted. You know, and I think it has something to do with if you've done anything to associate with a conservative platform. You know what I mean? So if you've liked a conservative video, if you've posted or reposted a conservative video, if you've added one to your story, so they're targeting conservative content.
So what's the solution? I mean, didn't you open an account on another platform?
I opened up another account. It's called Nick's Right Pod. So it's going to be this. We're going to be putting clips up on that account, but in the first 30 minutes of me posting a video on that account, let me just paint a picture for you. So I upload about 3 videos a day. They get between 200 and 400 views within the first hour, and then it kind of just fizzles out. Yeah, and that's how it's restricted. They don't let you get a lot of visibility. Within the first 30 minutes of this new one that's not restricted, it gets 700 views.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, or close to it. I haven't checked it since then. It was like 680 something.
So are you going to stop hounding on me about getting on TikTok and posting all the time?
No, dude, I've told you so many times because that's why I asked you to do an account check on yours, and yours is not restricted.
I did 2 TikToks this week, Nick.
You did.
I'm
so proud of you.
TikToks.
But that's not one a day. Now, is it?
No, it's 2 this week.
Okay.
But it's 2 days in a row.
Yeah, but you didn't do one yesterday, which I told you to do one.
really wanted to do one yesterday too, dude, but
because that was funny. That screenshot I sent you was funny.